Under the couch.
Aha! There you go.
I'm waiting here for that to turn me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Show you the finished product on the cage painting here. You can see it's a really textured finish. I suppose that's why they call it hammered, because it kind of looks like a bunch of little hammered dimples. So anyway, came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. While you were away, I started making up some seat brackets. So I've got these guys. I've got so much tilt back that the front of the seat lifts up so much I just welded on an extension there so that we can still get a bolt through in the front part of the seat. So I'm going to drill some more holes, get the seat mounted in, and then I'll take you back and show you how I finish that up. Kind of forgot about this, guys, but due to my extreme gangster lean in the car to get me to fit, my harness holes don't exactly line up where they need to with the harness in my shoulders. So I'm making some slits here. I already drilled the corner holes. Now we'll just cut across and see if I can show you what I'm up to. I'm hoping it works decent. Let's get you in there a little bit. So yeah, just my body saw and a little bit of the lube tube because it's aluminum. Try to keep this blade working. No promises this is going to work well. Oh, what up? What up, Horsepower Research? I see you. Okay, so obviously we don't want anything sharp here that could cut the belts. And I think that's pretty good. Feels nice and smooth. And I'm covered in crap again, but I have all my fingers. When's the last time you saw a chair upside down in a vise? Huh? We're breaking new ground here at Jeremy Swenson Racing. You're welcome. All right, the seat is in. And I am hopefully, there we go, that's better. So I got my seat mounts bolted in. I just tossed a little black paint on them so they don't look so bad and so they don't rust. And some grade 8 fasteners, way too long. That's how I roll, because it's what I had. Same thing over here. We're pinched through the, it's not the frame, but it's the, I don't know what to call it, but it goes through steel here on the backs of the bottom side. So, and then I also put one through the bulkhead up here. So that to me is the roll cage and the seat finished. And now what I'd like to do next is start doing some brake stuff while it's still just a shell. The whole car is still bare, and it would be nice to run brake lines right now while there's nothing in the way. But I've been waiting on parts on that front. So we'll start on something else here in just a little bit. All right, I think I've got the seat and roll bar padding pretty well situated. Maybe I should go to the other side, but here we go. I've got a little bit lower profile stuff around my head because space was an issue. So that's just some 3/4 inch thickness here, here, and here, and up top here. And then we've got some of the Fat Daddy stuff back there. So like I said, I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to do here. I think I might consider, they make these large pads instead of making a ton of tiny little cuts. But we'll see. Oh, speaking of cuts, join me quickly because I'm going to sell you a bandsaw real quick. This is one of my favorite little tools. And you've seen me use it before, but it's just a Harbor Freight bandsaw, portable job. But it makes cutting brackets out of steel or aluminum or whatever you have quick and easy. But watch what it does with just some padding, roll bar padding. It's great. It cuts straight and fast, and I don't know, one of my favorite tools. So if you don't have one of those, you should consider it. The base is made by Swag Off-Road, not sponsored, but they make some cool stuff for poor people like us. Just doing a little test fitting here to see, just in case if Tiffany ever decides to drive. Oh, oh yeah, she's in there. Hey, stretch out and touch those pedals. You got them?
Yep. Just barely.
Yeah, so there's Tiffany. Oh, there she is. What are you doing sitting down so low?
Just looking up at the sky.
All right, let's see how you get out.
This isn't fair. I'm wearing a dress.
Yeah, that's pretty slick.
Ta-da!
I did it good.
Looks pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does your shirt say? Let's see.
Saber Ocean Saber.
Oh, I thought it was something like punny or funny. Do you have any jokes?
No, none that I can think of right now.
Come on.
How do you make a tissue dance?
How?
Put a little boogie in it.
Okay, today we're going to be doing some clutch master cylinder installation, and I'm trying to decide which to use. So we got a nice kit from our friends at Tick Performance, and they do a bunch of stuff for a lot of LS engine stuff, but they do mostly driveline, I think, although I shouldn't box them in like that, but they do a lot of driveline stuff, and they're known for transmissions and drivetrain things, and engines, I believe, too, actually. But anyway, they send us a kit that comes with a 7/8 master. My buddy Danny said that we're probably, with a 7/8, we're going to be pushing a little more fluid than we'd like, which on one hand, that'll actuate the clutch faster, so you can get the clutch to release faster that way. However, it's harder to modulate, so when you've got a tiny little race clutch like we'll have in ours, we're going to be running a quartermaster in ours, and it's awesome for racing. The idea is you want it to be in and out quick and fast, but it's really hard to modulate and to take off from a dead stop. So something that can help that is running a smaller bore master, which I had one of these laying around from the red car. This one is a 7/10. So the idea is it pushes less fluid with the same amount of pedal travel, and so it's easier to modulate the clutch. And it'll still be, a 7/10 will still, on this clutch, will still be plenty fast for shifting, and we have a faceplated transmission with a bunch of nice tick parts, so we won't have to worry about it not actuating fast enough, and it'll help modulate. So I think we're going to put this 7/10 one in. You can see the size difference on the bore. So we're going to do that. We're going to follow their instructions here. And when I say we, it's because I've wrangled my buddy Jeff, who's just about to become the biggest star on YouTube. I've wrangled him into helping me because he's going to fit under the dash a lot better. So say hi to Jeff when you see him. He'll be up soon. Guys, for your benefit, I'm trying to get him to try and squeeze in there. Oh, I think he's going to do it.
I'll do it just for your entertainment.
Yes! Cracking everything! Views just went up. Full on butt cleave.
It's just like working on airplanes, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, this is a start of a new dawn at Jeremy Swenson Racing Channel.
Although none of this looks the same as... Oh,
Are you comfortable down there?
a little bit.
Do you need another light? I've got a light if you need it.
Possibly a screwdriver?
Flat?
Flathead?
Oh, I think you got the clutch. Oh, is there a spring on there?
There is on your pedal.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a pliers and you're taking that spring out.
You don't want that?
I'm not a spring guy. What do we got here, ladies? Oh. Yep, there you go.
You want that?
Yeah, I'm grabbing it.
Okay.
So that's our little return spring. We don't want that. I don't like that. On my race cars, I like my clutch to be right down by the floor. So only like a couple inches, and then we use the travel of when it hits the floor to bottom out. So that's what we're going to do on this one too. And thanks to Tick Performance, we'll have an adjustable one, so we can put the clutch at whatever height we want. And mine, I like it way down there. All right, Jeff found something he wanted to do while he's in there. He noticed back behind my pedals and my steering column, there's a bunch of sound deadening material, so he's tackling that. And you're gonna come with me. We got that the stock master cylinder out in about 3 seconds once we learned how. My memory's not very good, but the C6 was the same way. You just take it out, you just twist it, and it pops out. So you might be wondering, why are you replacing this? Mostly it's just for reliability and quick shifts. The factory setup is known to be not so good. They can get stuck on the floor, they can cause grinding when you're shifting, a number of issues. So it's pretty common on these cars, a lot of GM cars, to replace them. So that's what we're replacing, is this for that. And then Tick sends the adjustable unit here. So this threads on, so now we have an adjustable length. So we can screw this way in for my taste. And I need to find a lock. There's a lock nut right there. And we'll cross over. We'll have an AN fitting here instead of this wacky little quick fitting they have. So we'll get rid of some of the weird stuff and we'll go to a nice proven solid aftermarket setup. That is, once we learn how to attach this. I remember on my C6 they make a bracket, Tick does, that goes in and it twists into the factory location, and then it gives you mounting holes for this. Apparently on the C5 that's not what you do. So I'm going to get back to reading instructions so I don't look like a buffoon for you guys. If anybody needs a Bose BZP assembly, Jeff just found this under the dash, so free to good home, but only if you really need a BZP assembly. Jeff really wanted to get all this stuff out so he could get that insulation out, and it's really snowballed. Now we've had to take everything off. We got the steering column most of the way out, but it got stuck on the cage. So now he's removing that, and things are falling.
I think that's good though.
Anybody needs a Corvette, this one might be for sale.
It escalated much faster than anticipated. But
All right, my boy Jeff has got the clutch assembly out, and you can see the previous owner has put a clutch stop in here, so your travel is limited there. It hits the stop, and that way you're not blowing out seals on your...
sorry.
No, you're good. Blowing out seals on your slave cylinder or anything, or overextending it or pushing your clutch too far. But I don't like the clutch up this high. I like my dead pedal, which is where you rest your foot and you hold yourself in the seat, is down much lower. I don't like to have to lift my leg way up to slam the clutch and then put it back down. I like the clutch sitting right next to the dead pedal, so it's right there. So we're going to take this out, and then this will basically be the throw that we're after. So we'll just get a couple inches of throw, which should be more than enough to actuate the clutch, and the clutch will be much down lower in a spot where I like it. Most people will probably hate it because it's not normal, but that's my preference. All right, so you can kind of see what's happening here. Normally you've got a square deal. There's a square on this. You push it in, you rotate it, and that's what holds it in place. We're replacing that with standard racing style Tilton Master, which just has 2 bolt holes. So you need to drill a couple holes. Normally they send a template. I didn't get one, but it should be pretty simple just to put this in its spot and mock it up. Maybe this is an opportunity to use my fancy new step bits. Let's do it, guys. Okay, so I watch a guy on YouTube occasionally that does tool reviews, and he found that these step bits from DeWalt, not usually my brand, I'm kind of a Milwaukee guy, but apparently these DeWalt step bits are the bomb, so we're about to find out.
Sounds like DeWalt for you.
Dang. Was that 3/8? One more is 3/8. Okay, well, it's not bad. Alright, we're back at the vise, and apparently I did a really crummy job of planning on this whole deal, because apparently this was on my C6, and the C6 masters aren't threaded, so we're gonna have to tap this, but to get my tap to work I gotta take this thing apart just a little bit. So I got the snap ring out, and that, and I'm going to leave the rest alone because I don't think that's going to matter. As long as I don't get filings in there. Okay, I successfully made that way harder than it needed to be, or made it look way harder than it is. It's really not hard to do it, but we're done now. So I just had to thread some threads on the master here, and so that's now in place. I got the adjustable rod in here, so I've got it set where I think I'll like it. Not much throw here, maybe 2 inches. So hoping that's enough. If not, I'll extend it and then I'll have more throw. I also might consider, because depending on where this is in relation to the floor, I might end up cutting this little notch because it has a factory stop right here, which I might still want it closer to the floor than this. But once we get it all together, we can worry about that later. But we're going to toss this back to Jeff and have him put it in the car, because he is Flexi Jeffy right now. So last night I didn't record this, but Jeff and I we're putting the pedals back in, I decided I would check to see that my harness fits from the Holly setup that we'll be running the car on. Make sure the harness fits in that pedal, and it doesn't. So I did a little research, and we needed the C6 pedal, so we stole a C6 pedal out of this thing. This car is just sitting over here becoming a parts car now. So we stole that and put it in the C5, and that's going to work. So I ordered another pedal for it, and we'll keep moving forward. We've got a few things more to do today. First things first, we're going to clean up those self-tapper screws. We're going to clean those out of the underneath car, because I had some people suggest that that might not be cool, because if they fall out, they're going to puncture tires. And that's not cool. I just spent $3 grand in Hoosiers this week, and I don't want that to happen to anybody else either. So we'll pop those out, and we'll try and make some rivets work in there. So I think that's the first thing we'll do today. Forgot to show you, I got the rivets installed there, and some really pretty sealant. Okay, well, I'm zoomed way in. I didn't record what I just did, but I got a few things done here. Got the sheet metal back in, a little rear firewall, and on the inside there. And then I got my steering wheel that I'm going to use, the smaller one, the little 300mm jobber. I got that in the quick release setup. I won't have that completely tightened down until I figure out what way the wheels are even pointing, because right now there's not even a steering rack in the car. So basically, I'm still waiting on quite a few things. A bunch of it should be here from G-Speed this week. I've got hopefully also some brake stuff coming, because I'd really, while the car's still a shell, I'd really like to get the brake lines all bent up and everything situated, because that's it'll be a lot easier without having to work around the stuff. So that's really hopefully the next thing. Some of my hardware should be showing up for that, and then I should be able to get my torque tube taken care of. I'll be replacing couplers in that, and a bunch more miscellaneous things. But I do have, finally, after this episode, the seat is securely and firmly mounted. The roll cage is obviously taken care of now, and pretty much everything is good to go. The pedals are set. Let me show you those. I don't know if I ever showed you the final product, because I did have to switch. Like I said, I stole the C6 gas pedal, and that one already had my little extension piece on it, and that just puts my brake pedal and my gas pedal closer together, so it's easier to heel toe. I'm more of a side foot kind of guy and not a full-on heel kind of guy. And then you can see how deep I've got my clutch pedal. We'll see, hopefully I've got enough throw there to actuate it properly, but it's actually lower than the dead pedal, so I kind of like it there. If it's not enough, we'll just back it up a little bit. So that's going to do it for this episode. Guys, most of the people that do this sort of thing have some kind of catchy outro. So, and I feel empty not having one here to motivate you to, I don't know, keep watching or something, or to smash buttons and subscribe and share with your friends. And I really feel like if we had something really catchy and clever at the end, and we'd be, besides Jeff being in this episode, which is going to take us through the roof in views, other than that, I feel like if we had a really catchy outro, I'd have a Lamborghini by now. So if you could help me out in the comments and help us come up with a catchy outro, would be cool. I can't even come up, the funnier the better. I can't come up with something even funny right now just to even give you an example, but help me out in the comments, and we'll see if we can come up with something that's going to be the future outro of our videos. Again, funnier the better. See? That's not going to work, though. Funnier the better is not what we're after, but you know what I mean.